Pleasure to have you first time at Geospatial conference. So welcome, special welcome.
Thank you very much.
So what
Thank
has been
you.
the journey from PDA to PND to integrated digital navigation?
We had our roots in personal digital assistants. So we were closely associated to a company called Scion, a British pioneer in portable computers. We were application makers and we did a lot of different stuff. And then I think in 95 or around that time, we started to look into geospatial and routing and eventually navigation. And that's how we started. In 2001 or 2002, some of those restrictions were lifted, technology evolved, and we were able to create a consumer navigation device. And that was not, we were the first one to come with such a product to the market. And we solved an important problem, how to get to your destination, and then following that, how to get to your destination efficiently. And that was a real breakthrough. No one saw that coming. Really, everybody assumed that this was a car product and an inbuilt automotive kind of endeavor. And we turned it into a consumer product, and that was a real breakthrough. And I think that we have changed and contributed to how people move from A to B, certainly in the early days in a big way. From the early days on, we learned the power of sensors, of data, and data processing and collecting that. And fast forward, of course, we were disrupted in 2008 with smartphones coming to the market and Google and navigation turning into a free service. We've moved on into data, navigation, delivery, ride hailing, those kind of applications where a good understanding of the road network is required. And I think where we now is I feel better about the future of TomTom than I've felt for a very long time. Because there's a lot going on in technology, there's a lot going on in business models, there's a lot going on in autonomous driving, in efficiency, and so on and so forth. So the demand for what we're doing is there, and the tools that we now have to create the products that our customers are asking for have evolved beyond imagination. And if I look at what we can do now, in terms of map production and map quality and detail freshness, that is way beyond what I had imagined only 2 years ago. And the speed at which we are progressing is faster than ever. So it's a very exciting time. There's a new wave of requirements coming to the market now, and I feel we are in a very good position to fulfill that demand.
So how do you see this digital mapping system actually moving forward in the age of space, autonomy? All these are like so almost real time. So how are you actually bringing all these different kind of thousands of sensors networks into one digital map?
There's so much data, so much sensor data available now that we still need to have the knowledge about map making, and still the domain knowledge is still very important, but the engineering part of it has increased in importance way beyond what the company looked like only 4 or 5 years ago. So there's a very a lot of attention and investment going into those automated processes, and AI is helping there, cloud is helping there, and so on and so forth. So the technology, the data is there, technology to do something meaningful with the data is there as well. But I think in another important dimension is collaboration. We have adopted a more open system to enable collaboration. We are one of the proud founders of the Overture Maps consortium, where we try to establish a standard that makes it easier to exchange data. And I'm very excited about the progress we're making there, and I think this is absolutely the way forward. There's enough room and space for innovation on top of what the industry collectively has been able to produce. And it's our role to harmonize that data, to make it sure it's reliable, it's vandal proof, and augment it with new types of information that the market is asking for. And I think that's the way forward, because no single company on its own can map the complexities and the changes of the world in real time. And I think working together is a much more promising way of progressing the industry.
So in that age of authenticity and reliable data, how do you see that you can partner with the public sector to make your data more reliable and authentic, or more rich? And how can you help them, share your data back?
And it's not an easy one either, to be honest. And I don't have the magic answer, but it's clear that we have a lot of stuff. Governments have a lot of stuff. There are big societal problems. Road safety is one of the. Everybody intellectually probably agrees. We need to collaborate and share data and do all those good stuff that moves society forward. But when it comes to the actual deed of making data open and sharing it, it's a bit more complex in practice. And still there's a lot to be done and to be achieved. And I think governments are not shy, and rightly so, to put all sorts of regulations on car makers for road safety and whatnot. But I think they also need to look deep to see what they themselves, governments, can contribute to road safety by making the data less protected and open it up to the world at large.
Where do you see the integrated digital navigation platform moving in next few years? What do you think that you expect from the government to actually support or rather contribute to your vision of digital maps?
There is a second wave of automation happening in vehicles. I think that's a good thing. Those vehicles need maps. They need to have a concept of where they are, where they're going to, what's happening around them. Drivers need to be informed of what the robot is doing and thinking, and they don't want to get surprised. So you need an interface between the robot and the passenger. All that requires data, and that requires integration of sensor information with map data in real time. We are working with our customers, who are primarily OEMs and car makers, and we're working with a lot of other companies as well, also in enterprise, to make that happen and make that a reality. And it's exciting to see what we have achieved in the last couple of years, and it's also very exciting to see what we have on the roadmap and what we think we'll be able to produce in 1 or 2 years from now. Is extraordinary progress, I think, from what I've seen over the last 35 years.
Thank you very much. Let's give a big round of applause to Harold, and congratulations, and thank you for really making maps in the hands of everyone.